Richard, how are you?
Colin Dunalp. Good morning, and how are you, sir?
I'm coming to you from, I think, my favorite Ford. Do you know? I don't think I've ever told you my favorite one. The Big Bend model of the Bronco.
Not surprised. I also drive a Bronco because I love it. I love the way it feels. I love the safety and security that it gives me. We did a driving skills for life, Ford driving skills for life at North Hills High School, senior high school, on
Yeah.
Wednesday, and or was it Tuesday? I don't remember. But in any
Either
event, we
way.
had 350 students that were so
Wow.
deeply engaged. It was really wonderful. Shelley Bortz from KDK was
Yeah.
there co-hosting with us, and the reason I'm referring back to that is at the end there was a line of people, students that wanted to ask questions. Young lady came up and said to me, and I wasn't sure at all where it was going to go, but she said, "I just want you to know," and I'm going to paraphrase: my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, basically everybody I know, believe 100% that my aunt is alive today because she was driving a Ford Bronco.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and I thought that was, and she was crying. She had tears. And I thought that was a really, really cool thing. So,
Oh,
yeah.
geez. That's so great. You know
So
what?
good
I,
driving your Bronco.
Let me tell you real quick why I love the Bronco. It gets a lot of play because people see it as this summer fun car. You could take the roof off or whatever. That's all great, and it's true.
Yeah.
I think it's just as fun and just as safe in the snow. It's a great snow car.
I love it. You know what I did when we had the one big snow? It was on a Saturday night, I think. Um,
Uh-huh. Right? You're right about that.
and the next morning, because I love to drive in the snow, I took the car
So
out.
do
It was
I.
like 6:30 in the morning. Nobody was on the road, and I just navigated downtown and back. It was fabulous. And the car, you're right, the security in the snow is fabulous. Anyway,
I know
we
you just
we have
geared
some.
out. You feel like you're in Steamboat or something. Anyway, Steelers new coach. They're bringing in a bunch of people. They're bringing in a bunch of offensive people, which is interesting to me.
They're bringing in what?
A bunch of people on the defensive side of the ball, which is very interesting to me. That
Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen.
Well, my number one first of all, I want to thank Mike Tomlin for everything he's given us for the last 19 years. Okay, I,
Uh-huh.
I believe I believe that this man should be treated with the respect that he gave the city, and I'm really I am a fan. You know that about
Mm-hmm.
me, feelings for Mike Tomlin and his entire family. So thank you to Mike Tomlin, Kia, his kids, everybody that I mean they gave up 19 years of their life for us. This was not just a guy who was a coach. He really
Right. Oh no, I agree.
and and some of the things and I'm going to be honest, um, I don't like some of the things I'm seeing, the way the reaction of some of the city, and I think it's embarrassing and I think it's stupid. And if you're listening to this and that offends you, TFB, um, too freaking bad. That's the way I Okay, that's the
All
way I
right.
feel. I feel about the Tomlin family and Mike Tomlin specifically. So now, put that aside. He did what he did. He has his own reasons. They're nobody's business but his. Now, if we move forward, looking ahead, I love, love, love. My pick is Chris Shula, and that's who I love. Defensive coordinator for Sean McVay. Love it, love it, love it. A lot of people like Brian Flores. I don't. Um, he's not my pick. It's not that I don't like him, but I don't like him as the next gen of the Steelers tradition of a head coach that lasts 15 years. I don't think he's that guy. Um,
I agree with you. I think that he's just Tomlin again.
yeah, well, I see that puts down Mike, and I don't want to do that. I don't think it's that he puts that he's Tomlin again. I don't think he could carry Mike Tomlin's shoes, frankly. Um,
No, I think he's as good at a tactical coach. I think he's the same kind of tactical coach. I just think they want a fresher, younger, newer, different voice.
well,
And I
and that's
think
what they did when they
he's
had Mike
very
Tomlin.
similar to Mike.
Yeah, when not Brian Flores.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
I think he's very similar to Mike Tomlin.
Oh, listen, uh, not to be mean.
Right?
When Mike Tomlin, right before he was hired, I spoke to Ken Wisenhunt. He just left a meeting with the
Okay.
Steelers. He called me, and I was sitting in my office, actually. He called me and he said, I'm feeling really good about this. I think I'm going to get this head coach job. Then I talked to Russ Grimm. Russ Grimm said the same thing. And then, so it was, there were two contenders, Russ Grimm, Ken Wisenhunt. And then out of the air appears Mike Tomlin, right, with Kevin Colbert.
Right?
And when Mike Tomlin spoke his first words, you knew he's the guy. He was the guy. You knew immediately and understood why Ken or Russ did not get that job. And I mean that sincerely, because I was friends with those guys, and I thought, oh man, that they did them wrong. Why would they do that and bring in this guy that nobody's even heard of? And then he spoke, and I immediately switched and went, okay, I get it. I can't say that about Brian Flores. I don't get it. I wouldn't get it. And I don't want to stay focused on him because I don't want to call too much attention to him. He's just not the
You
guy.
know what I think could happen? What if they could get Flores, or excuse me, Shula and Shalhace both?
Oh, oh.
I like people keep discounting that. What if, because a lot of teams are going to Azar the offense and Azar the defense, and
Yeah.
somebody is essentially just kind of named head coach. I'm not discounting that they could essentially get both of those guys.
Well, that would be super strong. One of the things, and I would say to anybody, what really pushed me over the edge on Chris Shula, first of all, I like his genealogy. Grandson of Don Shula, only undefeated coach in the NFL, right? For the entire season. I don't think anybody else did it. Tom Brady didn't do it, did he?
No. So
No.
there's that. And so what else do you like about him?
What else I like about him is when I watched, and I don't know what game it was. It was a night game, like a Thursday night or a Monday night game, and they mic'd him up, and they interviewed him and from the booth. They interviewed him from the booth, and they mic'd him up on the field. And man, his energy, his enthusiasm, and look what he's doing in performance. I just really like the guy a lot.
I like him because I've seen that mic'd up stuff. I've seen interviews with him. It doesn't feel like anything's contrived or cliched. He doesn't have it scripted, ready to go. He's off his cuff. He gives you an answer. It's not canned or whatever. I really enjoy that about him.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I do also. Yeah, I really do. And that, you know what? That's funny. That's what I like about Aaron Rodgers also. It's not scripted.
I agree with that 100%. He's done, though. He's not going to play. Tomlin's gone, right? Rodgers.
I don't know. I don't know, because I could really make a case for, and it would really depend on whether Aaron wants to. Aaron would be in the driver's seat here. I think it would depend on who the Steelers hire as the head coach, because then Aaron Aaron may have personal feelings and say, I don't want to play for that guy. So I think really, but if he did want to play for whomever we pick, I would say the logic is pretty sound. And here's the logic. We have no choice right now. You can't just traditionally and historically, you don't just draft a number one pick and he becomes a superstar in 1 year. Doesn't happen. So that means we have a year. So what do we do in that year? So, okay, let's say we decide we want to try to develop Will Howard.
Right.
Okay? What better person to do that than Aaron Rodgers, right?
And I think he's open to that too. He's sort of this player coach he's already turned into.
Yeah, and there's nothing. What better opportunity would there be to have a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback training and teaching your next gen? Now, is Will Howard your next gen? Aaron seems to think so. He seems to like him. I don't know if he thinks that, but he seems to like him from the stories that I read from training camp and on. And the thing I like about Will Howard, of course, is the same thing I always say about Will Howard. He knows how to win.
Correct.
Right?
I mean, he's won a lot of games. It's not like it's a rookie everybody's talking about from UTEP. I mean,
Right.
this guy was at Ohio State and won a ton of football games.
Yeah, absolutely. So he knows how to win. He's a winner, and I like that. So, I mean, from that perspective, if all those things were true, then I think bringing Aaron back. But again, Aaron's got to be in the driver's seat here because he's the guy that they need. Aaron doesn't need us.
Yeah, you let him be. Last question for you before we go, because we're short on time a little today.
Yeah.
Next week at this time when we talk, will the Steelers have a coach?
Yes.
I think they're going to do it this weekend.
Yes, I do too.
It's going to be fat. They're going to identify the guy they want, and
But
it's on.
But you didn't tell me who's your number one pick.
Shula.
Really? My man. That's why we get
Because here's why. I think he can quickly assemble the best staff. I think people are more than Shellhace, more than Halfley, more than people who are up and comers are prone to follow him more than anybody else, and they could have the best staff possible.
Yeah, I love it. I agree with everything you said, and boy, that would be so cool. Like and again, I don't want to celebrate Mike Tomlin being gone because I think he's wonderful. And the other thing about Mike, the final thing about Mike, I guess I want to say is, if in fact he does pursue a television career, there won't be anybody better. He will be the best.
If he wants to be great at it, he could be one of the best all time.
100%. I agree with that because when I look at the kind of money they threw at Tom Brady, and he's awful. I just think Tom Brady is awful. I look at Troy Aikman, but Troy Aikman just signed a deal with the Dolphins. Did you know that?
Right. And Romo has turned out to be very okay now all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's very pedestrian. He's not great. Mike Tomlin can be great. And
imagine him sitting next to Bill Cowher and having the two.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Be incredible.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Anyway, all right, we'll have a coach next week. I agree with you 100%.
All right, well, text me over the weekend if we get him.
I'll text you 10,000 times over the weekend. All right.
Okay.
I'll see you. Bye.